5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is the Deducter bringing you the final match, the OSL Ro24 Group B. We have So versus Mine. So not a very good versus Terran player, unfortunately for him. He's going to have to face off against Mine here on the map La Mancha. And we have So at the 5 o'clock position, Mine at the 1 o'clock position. And looks like Mine is green, and So is purple, I think. Regardless, they are not cross-map on La Mancha, which is a 4-player map, and this time So not scouting the correct direction with his Overlord. I'm still disappointed by that last game between So and Tempest. Tempest, I had no idea what he was doing. It was a poor build to begin with, but So had the opportunity to absolutely humiliate Tempest with a hilarious proxy hatchery followed by a sunken blockade. By the way, the natural on that map, Gladiator, is higher ground in main, so the Sunkens would have done a great job. So chickened out at the last moment, though. I mean, he did it by accident. That was not intentional. I had thought he got the scout and realized what Tempest was doing, but he didn't. And, yeah. What a bizarre game, I have to say. Perhaps So would not have been able to hold that base. I mean, Tempest would have Zealots coming out. He had 3 Zealots already built, and he had he has a shorter supply route, and I don't think So was prepared to mass up Zealots, Zerglings rather, deal with Zealots, so perhaps he would have lost that hatchery. But I still would have loved to see him try. What I had really hoped for was that he actually scouted Tempest, then he could have brought like 3 drones over, more 3 Sunkens, used his Zerglings by time. I think there would be no way for Tempest to stop that. Regardless, I mean, I keep talking about what might have been, but things just did not work out. Quite sad. 14cc coming out from Mine. Another bold move. I like this, actually, by Mine. This is going to work well against, I believe, a 2-hatch into pool build coming out here from So. So Mine, playing aggressively now, not being his passive old self, went for Valkyries against Hydra, just not quite good enough against Hydra. Overall, going for the economic cheese this game, a blind 14cc, it looks like. And So, I'm going to scout Mine last, unfortunately for him. He's going to see the 14cc way too late to do anything about it. Not that he could have, even if he scouted it like a second, because he went for the 2-hatch pool build. There's no way he's going to get Zerglings out in time. So, excellent, I have to say, cheese here by Mine, economic cheese. It's important to be able to do a few of these moves, the bold moves. You don't want to do this all the time like Flash used to do. That's the thing about cheese strategies of any sort. You can't do it all the time because then you become predictable. But once in a while, always good to do to throw your opponent off a bit. Now this scouting drone trying to pick away at these SEVs, not going to matter. And So is going to be in some trouble, I feel. 14cc is going to give Mine a decisive early economic advantage, and So I don't think he's going to be able to hold back the attack that Mine will unleash, assuming that Mine does not screw up horribly. We'll see, though. Maybe So can show exemplary control over his units. He needs to win like 2 battles in a row against Mine's infantry army to be able to, even the game up, I feel. And he needs to not suffer any damage in the meantime. Looks like Mine is going to see everything that So's doing. He knows he's ahead. He sees Lair. He sees the 3rd hatchery. He knows that So cannot respawn anytime soon. And Mine already with 2 barracks pumping out forces. He's got his academy building. He's probably going to try for some sort of early break, I would imagine. If that doesn't succeed, he just pulls back and consolidates and wait for even more infantry to overwhelm So here. So, I'm not quite sure what he can do, honestly. I know this is very early in the becoming game, and there are all sorts of things that can happen in the interim, depending on how good the players' control over their units are, but I have to give Mine a significant edge at this point. Mine scouting SEV finally going down here, so finally keeping Mine in the dark. Mine already, it looks like, with 8 Marines at least out on the field. So just now putting down his Spire, I think mine would be wise to put on some early pressure, at the very least to force some Sunkens to be morphed. Brought out a second SCV to scout here. And you know, anything that mine can do to delay So's economy would be great. I don't think mine needs to seek the decisive early battle here. He could try for an early break, but time is on his side as long as he can confine So to 2 bases, which he should be able to do with a strong infantry presence. I know these days Zerg has been able to get 3rd base pretty much every single game, but I still think a Terran player who uses infantry well should be able to, at the very least, significantly delay that 3rd base, which would be useful enough. Now we have mine pushing out with Mag Marines. He's got 2 Fire Bats in his base. Perhaps he's keeping those in reserve to deal with any Zergling run-bys. So is using his Zerglings as best he can to try to delay mine. He's got quite a few Speedlings. Yeah, so is forced to put down Sunkens at the front. Mine, wisely, I think he is just going for the early pressure to force some Sunkens to be built, fighting on this bridge. Excellent choice. So Zerglings are not able to maneuver at all. But you can see how mine did not bring up his Fire Bats or anything. He would need those if he wanted to do some sort of break, but since, well, now he's sending his Fire Bats out to sort of scout. I guess he wants to find the 3rd. I still think it's kind of foolish to send Fire Bats to do the job. Send a SCV or something. The Fire Bats are useful, I feel, to deal with Zerglings, because there are always Zerglings in the mid-game from the Zerg. And the Fire Bats, I think, would be very helpful in warding off Zergling assaults. We have both these Fire Bats in the same location. Now that is just unnecessary overkill. I mean, scouting, there's no reason to send 2 Fire Bats, even if he wants to, pick away at the hatchery that's getting built. It's still kind of silly. 2 Fire Bats not going to be able to kill the hatchery before, like, Mulus coming to deal with them. I don't know. And those 2 Fire Bats, they did consume some early resources, and now it looks like So sending out his drone to put down an expansion, not at the 7 o'clock position. Mine repairing his turret desperately at the natural here, buying time for his Marines to come back. So good defense by mine here. These 2 Fire Bats, I guess this is why he sent the Fire Bats. Fire Bats able to kill the Zerglings very easily. The Zerglings, I guess, sent to clear the way, but perhaps I've given mine too little credit for this maneuver. And So is not using Mulus to deal with Fire Bats. If he sent like 2 Mulus, that would be enough. But mine has delayed So's third expansion significantly with these 2 Fire Bats. I say this is a better use of them than I anticipated. So attacking here at mine's natural, killing 2 turrets, but not really inflicting significant economic damage. These are superficial wounds. Now he's going again with an attack, backing out again. So now still persisting harass at this natural expansion of mines. He's doing the best he can before these 2 turrets finishes. Once those turrets finish, he will be forced back again. Those 2 Fire Bats still holding out. I have to say, this is working way better than I thought it would for mine. I'd imagine So would send like at least 1 or 2 Mulus to deal with that, but he has opted not to. This is for So to put down his 3rd at a cross-map position, and I think this is going to be a fatal move on So's part. Mine is going to be much closer to that 3rd base. He's going to be able to maneuver there to kill it. He's pushed out with some infantry here. And I don't know what So can do. Truth be told, that base is way too far away from his base for him to shift forces there to defend in time. I mean, simple geometry can tell you that that base should be roughly 1.4 times the distance between, say, well, that's not completely true. That's assuming pure straight lines. The map is not quite like that, but at a first approximation, it would be 1.4 times away from from putting down a base at second block position. Now Mine engaging in the middle of the field, killing a lurker there, picking away a bit at So's forces, not really feeling confident enough to push without a science vessel or tanks. So going for an attack here, looks like he's bringing his Mulus and his Zerglings, picking away at a medic, but I don't think Mine's going to care about this. Mine just needs to be a bit careful. Once he has his science vessel out, and it looks like it is out, he can radiate Mulus, use the tanks to deal with the lurkers. He's going to be fine. He's going to be able to launch a strong push. Now these tanks are pushing out. The lurkers coming, irradiate all over those Mulus. No split! Okay, now the split coming from Mulus. Those Mulus picking away the science vessel, not killing it, unfortunately. Killing some of these tanks. Mine needs to be a bit careful and protect his tank. Good control of Mulus by So, picking off 2 tanks there. Without losing his Mulus or even really taking much damage. Good work by So. I have to say, he's fought his way back into this game pretty well. I had thought by this point Mine would have a dominant force on the ground. But Mine being rather timid, I have to say. He's got himself boxed into his base, it looks like, against all these lurkers. And this is a terrible position for him to be in. He's also not building from his barracks for some reason. These lurkers plus the Mulus doing a great job of warding So back, and these Mulus doing their best to pick away at the science vessel. A second radiate, not a good split this time, and I think So's air force is significantly weakened. Now Mine pushing out. He's got infantry, he's got tanks. He can kill the third base, or he can assault natural. I think he would be wiser killing the third base. The natural is fairly well protected, and a siege there may not necessarily be successful, but I don't think So is going to be able to defend his third base. He cannot afford to lose that base. Mind, that science vessel has 3 kills, surely from good irradiates. So does have an impressive looking field army, but I fear he has not had the time to get up to Hive, or maybe he's only getting to Hive now. Mine trying to catch some of these lurkers out in the middle of the field. It looks like a big battle in the middle here. Lurkers burrowed on top of that ramp here, forcing Mine back for now. Mine is sieging his forces. Irradiates going off. Looks like on lurkers this time. Not on the Mulus. There aren't that many Mulus left. And Mine, I'm not quite sure why he's keeping his army in the middle like this. This is not a good position to be. It looks like So is going for a massive surround attack. He's got a force from the south, and where's his force from the north? No, it's just a direct frontal attack. It still worked pretty well, doing some serious damage to Mine's forces there. So playing a pretty good game, I have to say, thus far. Mine has 5 tanks now. The thing is, I don't know why Mine is persisting with this rather slow advance on So's main base. Here, I think So's going to be able to defend fine. So, with forcing the north, cutting off Mine's reinforcements, he's got plenty more defenses outside his natural. I think he should be able to hold. But Mine does have 5 tanks. That is a potent force. He's also got 2 science vessels. He's going to be able to siege his way into the base, I fear. Where is the Defiler's Mound? So has Hive now. He's pushing with a surround attack, and Mine getting caught unprepared. These lurkers burrowing, slaughtering all sorts of infantry, and those tanks are going to go down. One of the science vessels will go down. If the second science vessel had gone down, I think that would have been an even more emphatic victory, but as it stands, that was a decisive victory by So, cleaning out Mine's field army. And Mine, I do not know why he did not... Maybe he doesn't know about the expansion at the 11 o'clock. That's the only possibility I can think of why he did not go for that. As it stands, I think So has actually taken the lead now.